Ladies and gentlemen, whether you follow the chess world closely or not particularly closely, you probably are familiar with the fact that chess has a lot of random dramas. And they come across your timeline, and you take a look, you dabble, and then you move on with your life. Generally, most of the news that comes out of the chess world is somewhat negative and somewhat hilarious. Today, it's not that. I would say this is a major piece of news that has hit the chess world in October 2025. But I still think it could be perceived as negative and hilarious, but it's also kind of positive. So really, you're going to be feeling a lot of emotions today. Folks, long story short, we have a new World Chess Championship. we have a new one. We are adding it to the collection of all the ones we have. So we have the Classical World Championship. We have the Rapid World Championship. We have the Blitz World Championship. We have the World Cup. You could become the World Cup champion. Anyway, I'm going to share with you the announcement and then my reaction, and it's actually a lot more complicated than it already sounds. So just buckle up, okay? So earlier today, all right, an announcement came out. I saw this first on Twitter. International Chess Federation, Norway Chess, which is the organizing body that organizes Norway Chess, launches new world championship approved by FIDE. I like how that's, big. The new championship, titled the Total Chess World Championship Tour, will consist of 4 events each year and crown a combined champion across Fast Classic, Rapid, and Blitz chess. We expect this to become one of the most prestigious events in the entire chess calendar. CEO of Norway Chess of the new championship. And now, dark mode warning. There is no dark mode on the FIDE page. Just about the biggest complaint, by the way, about FIDE. Like, they don't have a dark mode. At least I don't see one. Anyway, let me read this to you, and then we're going to talk about it, because it's crazy. Okay, so they launched the new world championship called the Total Chess World Championship. Here are the highlights. It's a brand new format, all right? It's going to crown a champion in Fast Classic, Rapid, and Blitz. Fast Classic is 45-minute chess with a 30-second bonus. All right? $2.7 million annual prize pool. All right? A pilot tournament is planned for fall 2026. The initiative comes from the organizers of the prestigious Norway Chess Tournament, and they signed all of this in early October. Now, we are looking for the total chess player. A versatile, tactically intelligent, technically skilled athlete who seamlessly adapts to multiple time controls. And if you win it, you become the FIDE World You become the FIDE World Combined Champion if you win the Total Chess World Championship Tour. Now, hold up. Okay, let's just keep rolling with the punches. This is going to kick off in 2027. We want to create an entertaining tournament using cutting-edge technology, innovative and engaging TV streaming broadcasts, and faster formats to open up the sport to a broader audience than ever before. We expect this to become one of the most prestigious events in the entire chess calendar. We are very honored by the strong trust FIDE has shown in the project. From the very beginning, the Federation has been an active, engaged partner, ensuring the project aligns with FIDE's vision. And for the fans, Dvorkovich, FIDE president, expresses strong support, always looking for ways to innovate and push the boundaries of what chess can be. Although chess is already one of the most popular games in the world, its growth potential is still enormous. With the Total Chess World Championship Tour, we give players a new title to compete for in the audience, a faster tournament format. We hope the tournament captivate. Okay, look. Here are the regulations. World first, 24 elite players per tournament. Only the 4 best advance and play in the finals. There's going to be some seeded directly. Magnus, Carlsen. And then there are going to be some seeded through competition and qualifiers. Okay, great. And then all of this, Golden Knight, Golden Rook, Golden King, the ultimate victor. So you are a Golden King and the FIDE combined world champion if you win the Total Chess World Championship Tour. All right. Folks, like I said, this video is going to be positive, negative, and hilarious. Let's focus on the positives first, shall we? I have always said, the best chess player in the world, at any given moment, should be the best player, ideally, across all formats. Just like in tennis, there are different court surfaces, right? If you're a monster on one, ultimately you're still kind of, there is still a Grand Slam count. And in general, you have a balanced amount of wins on all of them. But obviously, if you're the best in the world over all the formats, whether it's 90-minute, 15-minute, 3-minute, or whatever, this should ultimately crown the world champion. I have also said that the system to qualify for the candidates is changing all the time. Why in the chess world do we crown a world champion every 2 years? I mean, everything changes in chess in 2 years, except Magnus Carlsen being ranked number 1. But like, why do we do that? Why do we do it this way? Why have we not long adapted a tennis system? Why have we not long adapted to all of this innovation stuff that they are talking about? So in this sense, I'm pretty excited about this, right? This has, and $2.7 million is no joke. And maybe, maybe they can get it even higher if they have location sponsors. Like, this year, actually, Baku in Azerbaijan put on the Formula One event. They put on a UFC event. Baku, Azerbaijan, beautiful place, has hosted many Olympiads and prestigious tournaments, etc. You can get location fees and so on. Okay, so that's the positive. Now, let's talk about how this is going to work right now. So, first things first, something kind of funny before I move on with anything else. I saw on social media somebody in a very funny way point out that a month ago, FIDE launched the Fast Classic time format, which is 45-minute and 30-second bonus time. It's 45 and 30. Normally, it's much longer than that. In the candidates and World Championship, it's 2 hours. This is September. Chris Bird, iconic arbiter. Actually, this is the gentleman that held up the umbrella, if you know the famous umbrella clip. And he did many other things. He said, so they announced the pilot project at that standard rating, which isn't finished yet, but today announced the new World Championship using that time control. So this is number one. Just side note, funny thing. We're launching a test project. JK, a month later, we are launching the literal Norway Chess / FIDE New World Championship, where we are playing Fast Classic. So, okay, that's kind of funny, right? That's small thing number one. Small thing number two is that this is going to be called, I'm trying to think, small thing number two, small thing, no. So both of these things are pretty huge, right? You'd think they make a new world championship, it's a world championship. No. In fact, the CEO of FIDE, Emil Sutovsky, said 2 players from the new championship qualified to the candidates. Hold up. So, the candidates tournament, the 8 players that play for the challenger spot, two of these will be the world. So you could be a world champion, but then you have to qualify for the classical world championship, for this world championship. There's not even the word classical in it. Okay. And last but not least, why this is interesting, and like I said, not completely positive, because it's kind of unclear right now, is the overarching talking point about all of this is a desperate attempt to bring back the one and only Magnus Carlsen. Kind of like in Goblet of Fire. Spoilers if for some reason you haven't seen, Harry Potter, the graveyard scene, the maze. They summon him back. Magnus Carlsen famously walked away from the World Chess Championship, and there are many theories and his own interviews and clips as to why. Recently, Daniil Dubov, his training partner, and I would argue friend, gave an interview in the Russian language, and he said that he absolutely 100% thinks that Magnus Carlsen would play in a World Championship match again. It's simply a question of money. And I have always speculated that the sheer amount of effort, nerves, discipline, etc. required to maintain number one status and win 5 world championship matches, especially in the time of 2020 to 2025 when the game of chess has exploded 10,000%, warrants that to be at a level of prestige financially and in a status way that should, match the occasion. Boxers fight twice a year and get paid $50 million. Like, I don't want Gukesh and Magnus to not play unless they're getting $50 million. I understand that. I'm also looking at it from an American perspective. It's a little bit different, all right? But that's what I always thought. Now, he's also talked about the format. He's talked about many different things. And people are saying this is just a way to bring him back. And also what this does, it takes away the credibility of the literal sitting world champion who won it in classical chess. I will just say this. A couple of world championships ago, in fact, 2 back-to-back in 2016 and 2018, Magnus Carlsen won the classical world championship by winning the tiebreak day. He won 1 day of chess. And it was tie breaks. It was speed games. It was 25-minute chess, right? So hear me out. Let's say Magnus Carlsen becomes the FIDE combined champion. He then qualifies to the candidates to play the winner of the world championship match in 2027? 5 calendar year, right? Well, he would go to the candidates tournament. So then you would have Magnus as the FIDE combined champ, Gukesh as the world champ, period. Volodar Murzian, who is the world rapid champion. The Blitz championship is actually held by 2 people, because that's just what we do now. Magnus and Jan Nepomniachtchi are the split Blitz winners. You got a World Cup champion in here too, which right now is Magnus Carlsen, but in 2025, considering he's not playing, it's going to be somebody else. They don't have a Fischer Random or a freestyle world champion. We remember what happened there. So, what are we doing? Why can't we just sit down, work with all the organizers, and figure out how much money is in the pool, how everybody can get as much money as possible? Like, the prize funds for chess seem to be a lot of money. A lot of money. Why can't we standardize it? Why is everybody privatizing these tours and talking about being the next big thing? Now, I'm going to talk about a couple more things, and then we're going to put a bow on the whole thing, because, like I said, big picture, I actually think it's quite exciting and quite good. There's just a lot of little kinks to be worked out. Okay, folks, it's a 4 events in a year mixed format to crown the best player in the world, right? Or something like that. Yeah, so let me introduce you to the Grand Chess Tour, okay? This tournament has been running for 10 years. It just finished in 2025 in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Magnus didn't play, Hikaru didn't play. Viewership was not particularly great, but some of the world's elite players played. Prize funds were massive. It's been running. It's got a total prize pool of $1.6 million. All right? It ain't too bad. I mean, it's no, what is this called again? Total World Chess Championship Tour. But, not too shabby. All right? And if you go back in the previous winners, Magnus won an event. You look at the previous winners, Magnus was the champ several times in the past when he has played. This is basically the same thing. They don't exactly play the same formats, but I mean, they play classical, rapid, and blitz. And at the end, there's a final 4. That's what they did this year. So this is literally this. Hey, boys and girls, if we combine this into a $5 million prize pool, can you imagine what we could do? I understand you all own everything. You own this, and this is a Kasparov-backed thing, Garry Kasparov. And this is FIDE, right? And I mean, okay, now we got 2 separate ones. Now, let me show you the total calendar. Here is the total calendar of some of the most important events. So, September 2025, we had the Grand Swiss. The Grand Swiss fuels the candidates. right? Because that's apparently important. This is a big deal. Okay, we got that. October 2025, we had the Grand Chess Tour Finals, which we just did in Sao Paulo. That was won by Fabiano Caruana. Shout out. Then we had Clutch Chess. That's coming up. Magnus, Hikaru, Gukesh, Fabi are playing in St. Louis. That is literally just a one-off event. We're just bringing 4 Chads into a room. We're making them fight it out. That's happening later this month. Oh, and side note, like as a little, third wheel is the freaking World Cup, like the literal World Cup, which is like the most, amazing name and status in like any sport. It's not even an important tournament. Like the FIDE World Cup just qualifies you to the candidates. The FIDE World Cup and the Total Chess World Championship qualifies you to the candidates because this is still apparently the most important thing. Anyway, I digress. Now in December, keep in mind, we still got freestyle. We don't know what's going to happen there. Also, we have the World Championship of Rapid and Blitz Chess. Murzian and Magnus and Nepo, their titles are gone until that tournament is over. Also, Global Chess League is happening, like the 3rd season of it. Then in April 2026, we're going to have the candidates. In September of 2026, we have the Olympiad, so you could become an Olympic champion too. November 2026 is going to be the World Championship, the winner of this tournament will play against Gukesh. And the month after that, there are going to be more World Championships. These World Championships will replace the ones in December of 2025 in the Rapid and Blitz. Meanwhile, April to October of next year is going to be the Grand Chess Tour, which is basically this event that has been going on for 10 years, but now it's a little bit different, and that one's called the World Championship, and the other one is not called the World Championship. Meanwhile, while all this is going on, September to July is the Esports World Cup. So there is a yacht, a barge full of tournaments. And let it be known, while all this is going on, there are dozens of elite opens. 2,600 plus players are playing in Prague, all over the place. All right, Chennai, all these different tournaments. UAE, there's multiple massive, monstrous opens. All right, like, okay. Can we figure this out? Can we please, hey, remember how this said that our goal is to get more people into the game? We're talking about an entertaining tournament, cutting edge technology. Hey, what does that mean? Faster format to open up the sport to a broader audience. Hey, this does not open the sport to a broader freaking audience. I'm just letting you know. Okay? I am letting you know we gotta figure this out. FIDE, Norway, Grand Chess Tour, any potential sponsor, it's a little bit confusing. So let's put a bow on the whole thing. I think you cannot possibly, I think it's really strange in chess that generally chess is dominated by one person. Tennis, for example, has a big 3, right? Many sports leagues have a big 2 or 3, the most elite teams with the highest bankroll, right? Talk about football leagues, you talk about basketball, baseball, any sport, NFL, right? NFL's a little different because actually it does change every kind of like 3 to 5 years. You don't see such crazy amounts of dominance. It is rare, and teams do lose. But chess is dominated by one person. It's been dominated by one guy for 15 years. And when Magnus couldn't see eye to eye with FIDE about how to build a world championship around his preferences, he ended up walking away from the title, and he only plays in events that he likes to play in and wants to play in. And now you're getting this, right? And the criticism is like, well, why are we doing this? Like, why are you appeasing Magnus? You have a world champion. You should build around that. If Magnus doesn't like it, he should come back and play, he should play the regular style of the... No, I actually disagree. I have said many, many times that selling a sponsor on the candidates or the world championship, like mainstream sponsors, watches, pens, anything, is hard. Sports don't go 7 hours. They don't go 8 hours. Sometimes they don't go 4 hours. Like, you need predictability. You need a packaged product to sell to a sponsor. So, in that sense, this is innovative. This is cool. Maybe this is the way chess should always be from now on. Problem is that we still have all of the other world championships all bundled up together. And every year, they're all over the place. This year, the World Rapid and Blitz is in Qatar. Last year, it was in New York. And FIDE generally secures their venues like 6 months before an event happens. That's when all of the announcements are made. You know, whereas with most other sports leagues, this happens a year out minimum. And for something like a tennis, like all your Grand Slams happen in the same venue for 100 years, basically. So it's not as easy as one would like. I still don't quite get the plan here. As we can see, there are multiple projects in chess that come in and try to be the next best thing, like freestyle. After this December 2025 tournament in South Africa in freestyle, side note, they were supposed to have 5 tournaments this year. There were only 4. They never talked about that. Is there going to be more after that? And it's kind of a shame, you know? It's kind of a shame that that's where it's headed, especially after this whole thing where they wanted to have the freestyle chess world championship, right? So that's the situation, right? You have this situation where you have all these separate independent projects like the global chess leagues, like USA versus India, like freestyle. They want to come in, they want to be the next big thing. But in reality, I think FIDE should have been much more proactive in working with some of these really energetic and enthusiastic sponsors, organizers, bankrollers, financiers, because I actually think that there could be probably 10x more money in chess, and it could be a much more viable career for many, 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 many people around the world. Right now, India is at the forefront of how to take care of prospects in the chess world. They have private and public sponsorship with governments, with companies. Maybe in some places like Uzbekistan, there is some similarity in how the treatment is there. But in Europe, in US, it's nowhere near that level, if there is any at all. And so I think this is a long time coming. I'm kind of hoping that this is something that builds for the future in a bit more of an organized way. But I don't know. And I am not particularly excited that we are going to have 5 different types of world champions. Because you can say whatever you want about innovation and this and that. And if there's one sentence anybody is listening to this that wants to send it to a sponsor, that wants to send it to FIDE, that wants to send it to anybody, I would argue probably nobody, except maybe the data team at chess.com. Probably nobody knows more than me of a bird's eye view of how many people are entering the world of chess every single day, in particular through media. Content creators, videos, clips, how many people go to chess.com, how many people end up playing chess, how many people end up studying chess and buying courses, taking the next step, spending money on their hobby, etc. And I just feel like some of these people are driving somewhat blind. Like they are not wearing their glasses while operating the machinery, or there's snow on the windshield and they haven't cleaned it. Like they're just trying stuff. And I think it can be done better. I really do, because many people watch my videos covering this stuff. There are going to be hundreds of thousands of people who watch this video, and 90-something% of them are going to go, yeah, I don't know. I don't really follow chess tournaments unless you make a video about it, Gotham, or unless Chess Base India makes a video about it, you know? So you can make all of the innovative tournaments that you want and still give the players $2.7 million, and you might still average 10,000 viewers per live stream. And I just feel like there is a lot of opportunity here, and it is very disorganized. So that's what I have to say. I will stay cautiously pessimistic. But I am ready to have my mind changed, and I wish some of these people would reach out, be like, hey, do you want to strategically advise us? But they never do. So I just sit here and I cover the news and, I share it with all of you and we talk about it in the comments. That's all I have for you today, folks. We've got a new World Chess Championship. Magnus is being summoned back to be the total combined super duper ultimate galactic universal world champion of chess. You know what to do. Get out of here.